Hey y'all, Shelby here. This is our second hip mobility video. So if you like this one, go and try the first one too. I'll probably make a third one because I have so many exercises that are good for the hips. So this is not just stretching, because there is a difference between flexibility and mobility. I don't just want your hip muscles to be loosened up. I want you to move your hips in ways that maybe you don't on an everyday basis. So we're moving our hips in different ways, opening things up, maybe shaking some things out. We tend to hold onto a lot of stress and trauma in our hips. So if you start to feel emotions come up, that's okay. Breathe through it and just keep moving. I'm right here with you. Okay, let's get started in our cat-cow just to get warmed up a little bit. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're just inhale, opening, exhale, round out. So think about your pelvis, think about your hips during this movement. So we're tilting back and tucking in, and then tilting forward. So think about your pelvis, your hips as a bowl. So we're pouring the bowl forward and then bringing it back. So this movement is really working into our hips, opening things up. That front and back plane, that frontal plane. We'll find a neutral spine and just wag your tail from left to right. So we're bringing your right hip bone over to the right, left hip bone over to the left. Wagging your tail left to right. This even feels good to me. I've got really tight hips, y'all. I actually have scoliosis in my low back from a gymnastics injury. So these hip exercises help me so much. Just help keep things limber. Things start to really tighten up back there because of all the curvature in my spine. Okay, let's tuck your toes under and push back to a down dog. And we're just looking forward. Bring your hands a little bit closer together. And we're just looking forward and bringing your right foot forward to the outside of your hand, your right hand. So if this wasn't a graceful fluid motion like mine was, that's okay. It doesn't matter, okay? Take as many steps as you need to there. So we're in this lizard pose and then press back. Down dog, and then lizard on the left. Hold here for a breath. Down dog. Let's do that a few more times on your own. Let's do one more each side. Good, and come back to your tabletop. If your wrists are starting to hurt, you can always come down onto your forearms, hug your belly in, and we're gonna bring your right knee into a circle, okay? Which means your hip is going into a circle as well. So I want you to bring your right knee towards your body, so we're flexing your hip, and then we're bringing it out to the side, back, and then forward again towards your chest. So it's just a big circle. It can be a small circle, it doesn't have to be a big circle. Just opening it up here. Now let's circle the other way. To the front, back, out to the side. Good, one more circle. And other side, hug your belly in just to support your body. And we're moving your knee forward, out to the side, back, and then through to the front. So big circles here. You might even feel your glute on the opposite side start to tighten up and work. That's good. Strengthening that glute medius. Stabilizing your other hip as we move on your left side. Other way. Circle it out. Belly is in, protecting your body. One more circle. We'll come back to center. Come onto your hands if you're not already there. Turn around for this one. And I want you to bring your right leg out to the side, okay, like you're doing kind of like a fire hydrant. And then I want you to bring your knee in so your foot is out. And then opposite, bring your knee out, foot in. So we're just internally and externally rotating your hip. Belly is in. Make this movement as big as you'd like. So it can be big, it can be small, whatever feels good. I feel my glute on the other side firing up. That's good. Okay, other side. Bring your right leg in, left leg out to your fire hydrant. And then your knee in, foot out, internally rotating your hip. And then externally rotating your hip. Internal, external. Good. Few more times. Okay, drop it down, shake it out. I want you to just bring your knees a little bit wider and just shake your hips from left to right. Big breath here, in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Shake it out. 3, 2, 1. Good job. So let's come sideways on your mat for a gate pose. So bring your hands down to the ground and then one leg is out long. You can always bring a pillow if you need to. We're doing quite a bit on your knees. So you can always put not a pillow, a blanket. Hold it underneath your knees if that feels good. And hopefully you feel the stretch through the inside of your thigh, your adductor. So our weight is half in our hands, half in our knee. Hug your belly in and then gently bring your hips back to get more of a stretch. And my back toes are tucked under. And then we're coming forward and back. So I actually learned this one from my pelvic floor PT from whenever I was pregnant. So really good stretch for that adductors. Let's do one more forward and then back, and if it feels okay, just pause here. My hips are moving down towards my back heel. 3 breaths. Come forward, and then we'll just switch sides. So other leg out. Hands are planted. Back toes are tucked under. Inhale. Exhale, push back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, push back. Stretching through the other inside thigh, your adductor, ADD. Your adductors are on the inside. Abductors are on the outside. One more time, and then let's hold back. Bring your hips back as far as you can. Hips move towards your back heel. We're stretching there. Gently come up. Hug your knee in. Whew. Shake it out. I want you to shake it out again. And if you don't want to shake it out in your tabletop, you can come up onto your knees or even come up to a standing position and just shake it out. Shake out through your hips. Maybe circle one way, circle the other way. Close your eyes and just shake it. Releasing any stuck energy there. Okay, tabletop. Bring your right foot through in between your hands. We're coming to a low lunge. And we did this in our first video. I want to remind you of all the cues here just to keep your hip flexor nice and healthy. Hug your belly in and engage your left butt cheek, your left glute. So I want it to be fired up. You can put your hand there, fire it up. And we're just gently pressing into your hands. Gently pressing into your hips. Maybe you gaze out and up. And then we're bringing your hips back, straightening your leg out in front. Inhale back into your lunge, press forward. Exhale, press back. You can have your hands down to the ground on blocks. I always like to use blocks here whenever I have them. So we're just moving in and out from your lunge to, this is our half splits when our leg is straight. When we come into your lunge, your belly is in, your left glute is fired up. One more round. Straighten out through your front leg, and I want you to turn to your right. So maybe you're just kind of turning your head, turning your chest. If you can, bring your left hand on the outside of your right foot. We're just getting into that IT band on the right side. One more breath here. And switch sides. Left foot forward for your lunge. Hands come to your thigh. Belly is in. Put your hand on your right butt cheek. Squeeze it. Gently pressing forward, looking out and up. Inhale, exhale, press back. Moving your hips forward and back. When you move forward, hug your belly in, engage your right glute. Press back, straighten it out. One more time. Straighten out through your front leg. Turn to your left. I'm putting my right hand on the outside of my left foot. Turning to the left. Getting just from the outside of your thigh. I actually feel this today more in my back, but it's still a nice back stretch, so we'll take it. Come back to center. Step back to your tabletop. Shake it out. Or you can come up to your knees. Standing. We're just going to shake, shake, shake for 3, 2, 1. Come lay down onto your back. Ooh, hug your knees into your chest if that feels good. Rock from left to right along your low back. Plant your feet down to the ground and bring them the width of your mat. So they're pretty wide here. And then we're gonna let your knees fall over to the left. Stay here, or you can bring your right foot up a little bit more. I'm grabbing onto the outside of my right ankle, and this stretches a little bit more into the front of your right hip and your thigh. Gently breathe here, just soft inhales and exhales, telling your body that it's safe to relax, to let go, to release. Other side. Knees over to your right. And you can grab your left foot, bring it up. Get a hip flexor and quad stretch. And breathe. Bring everything back to center. Feet again about the width of your mat, and just windshield wiper your knees from left to right. This can be as small or as big as you'd like it. Whatever feels good here. And then we'll bring your knees together and your feet out wide for this internal hip rotation. And just pause here. Bring your knees up. Heel toe your feet back in about hips width distance. And cross your right leg over your left for your figure four. So bring your figure four towards you, or you can stay here. Press into your right knee to open it up a little bit more, or bring your figure four towards you. Grab the back of your left thigh, the front of your left shin. Gently release your hands. Keep your figure four. Right arm comes out to a T. Left hand grabs onto your right ankle and let your figure four fall over to the left. We're planting your right foot down. My right knee is lifted to the sky. Bring your right hand to your right hip and gently press down. So it's just opening up your hip in a little bit of a different way. Gently bring everything back to center. Whew. And switch sides. So figure four on your left side. Stay here or start to hug it in. Hands in the back of your right thigh or the front of your right shin. And just see if you can soften here. With each exhale, just imagine your hip opening up a little bit more, softening, relaxing, releasing. Gently release. Right hand comes to your left ankle. Figure 4 falls over to the right. Left hand comes to the left hip and gently presses down. Gently unwind, bring everything back to center. And we're gonna bring your feet to the sky, knees out wide, and then bring your knees towards your armpits, grabbing onto your ankles, your calves, the outsides of your feet, your big toes, if that feels good. Lengthen your low back down onto the ground and just gently rock along your low back from left to right. If it feels good, maybe straighten one leg out to the side, and then the other. We'll gently release, rock all the way up. And one last exercise. So I just realized I forgot it, but this is a good one. So we're gonna start with our 90 and 90, which we did in the last video where we fold forward and do all that jazz. But this time you can hold here, as long as you'd like. And then we're gonna eventually turn to your right and over to the other side. Okay, pause here and then turn over to the other side. Hip switches. So I'm using my hands here, okay? You don't have to use your hands if that's too easy. You can use your hands, whatever works best. This is a good one to end on anyway, right? This takes a lot of skill. This is probably the hardest one that we're doing. So we're nice and warmed up for it. So as always, you can always pause me and keep going with the exercise. Feel free to hold any of these, go back and do any of these as long as you'd like. And thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you, I'm gonna make a third video. So I'll see you for round 3 of our hip mobility exercises. Have a great day.